In Manchester, one of the men who've helped make this the fight capital of Britain now. And he's been in plenty of thrillers, of course. Jamie Moore, he's still the reigning British light middleweight champion, warming up for the hotly anticipated meeting with Matthew Macklin, but at middleweight tonight against this man, Mike Algoet, the Belgian, awkward, solid, chinned, and always holding his own.
One of the most popular fighters around the domestic scene at the moment. A welcome back to our British light middleweight champion, Jamie Moore, after 6 months out, as he meets the experienced Belgian veteran, Mike Algoet. It's nice to see Moore again, even though this could be a difficult one with Algoet's style.
Yeah, it could be a struggle for Moore. It's one of those matches difficult to get up for when you have big fights in the pipeline, big fights in your mind, and he feels ready to march on to European, maybe even world level. So difficult to get up for, and Algoet is a real awkward customer. He's used to facing bigger men than Moore, so Moore's punches might not have the desired impact. So yep, this could turn out to be a bit of a struggle if he's not at his best, and he's been out since January.
Yeah, Moore has come in at 11.6, the middleweight division. Algoet has operated well up to super middle, so he might have the natural physical strength. He's been over to our shores before, gave Tony Dodson and Steve Roberts plenty to think about. Howard Eastman managed to stop him in 8, but he's an awkward and effective customer.
Yeah, and tough at the same time. I mean, he's taken some real decent punchers all the way. So, I mean, I wouldn't be getting involved as early here as Moore is doing. I'd be trying to use the jab. He doesn't have the southpaw advantage tonight. But yep, I wouldn't want them. I mean, this is the kind of fight that would suit Algoet.
One step.
I think he should be using his skills, certainly in the first 2 or 3 rounds tonight.
Just gets caught there, Moore, who may be a bit ring rusty, having not boxed since beating.
That was a good punch. You could just see the reaction there. That body shot hurt Algoet, I think, just a little momentary pause, but he has the experience to hold and spoil.
Yep, dipping the legs there from Mike Algoet.
I mean, he reaches with his punches, Algoet, so there'll be some target downstairs for Moore, and he is an excellent body puncher.
Yeah, when he's on song, Jamie Moore, he can put the punches together very well indeed. Organised, tight defence, good jab, and the body punches to go with that style. Quite rounded.
Yeah, but he doesn't really have a weakness. I mean, he's been on the floor, of course, he's been stopped. But in his style-wise, in good defence, good power. Yeah, well, signs this could be a tough one tonight.
Second of 8, the 27-year-old Jamie Moore right onto the attack here against Mike Algoet. Very experienced from Belgium, 5 years older, Algoet, and he's strong and looking to make it competitive, whipping in body shots. Good start to the second round.
Well, Moore started with an excellent right hook, but he seems to have fired Algoet up, and he wants to show, I'm not too impressed, and here's what I've got. See, this is the range Moore wants to be at. Algoet tends to lunge with his punches, so he does leave some target to be countered, certainly down at the body.
You never quite know what you're going to get with a 2 southpaw mix. But the way this one has started may just be gelling. Jamie Moore is rarely in a bad fight, and he turns Algoet and starts to apply the pressure.
Well, that was impressive because Algoet was trying to spoil up close, but Moore found a way to get himself some room and get the punches off. Just wants to be careful. You don't want to turn this into a wrestling match.
Small cut just above the left eye for Algoet. Bit of blood there. It's coming close as well in there, Jim. Yeah, those good punches from Moore.
Yeah, good movement. I mean, Moore was pushed back to the ropes, but he just slipped out to the side, turned Algoet and got some nice punches off. Shown good technique, but it's a struggle because Algoet is so awkward and good at spoiling up close.
Seeking out the uppercuts, Jamie Moore, and trying to fight for the fans here, who've turned out as always.
And that was quality stuff from Moore. I see some blood on Moore's forehead, but I don't know if it's coming from Algoet or if he's damaged. It's difficult to see. I don't see any damage on him, but there's certainly some blood.
Is it to the ear of Jamie Moore? I think it is. On the right earlobe, maybe. And there's a cut as well to the other eye of Mike Algoet in what's become a really rough second round here.
Well, Moore is really doing well with getting the quality punches off here because this is tough. Algoet is spoiling. He's trying to stay close, but Moore is finding the room and getting these punches off. He's looking very strong here on the middleweight limit, Jamie Moore.
Good combination. There's the speed he brings up from light middle. And also, he brings so much excitement to the ring, Jamie Moore. And that's why the fans love him.
Well, these punches are having an effect on Algoet. He's not liking those. Eye fairly badly damaged.
Third round. This one warming up and intended to be just that for Jamie Moore, who's got a September date with Matthew Macklin, defence of his British light middleweight title. And we can't wait for that. Got to deal with Mike Algoet, the Belgian triad, who's badly cut by the right eye. Badly cut.
See, this is the range. This is where Moore's class can allow him to dominate. If you allow Algoet to get close, he'll spoil. He'll use his physical strength, pick him off at long range. Don't allow him to get close. This is impressive stuff now from Moore.
Seeking out the left hooks. And Jamie Moore is gaining momentum as the fight presses on. Really impressive this from the British champion. And I wonder if Matthew Macklin is taking a look.
Well, that was a stumble after that punch from Algoet. There are signs that really he is not enjoying this too much. Signs that these punches are sickening him a little bit. He's not been allowed to spoil, not been allowed to take a breather. Moore really in command now.
This is a man that's been the distance with world champions before, like Christian Santana and Sergei Zinziruk. He's a tough, gritty operator. And Moore, who's a light middleweight, is giving him trouble in the power department.
Yep, he's really bossing him around at the moment. I mean, it's impressive the way he's getting the short hooks off up close, dominating at long range.
Just stumbles down there, Mike Algoet. Well, we remember him over here before, and he just hasn't been allowed to get into this. Moore is dominant.
Well, I wondered if Moore could get himself up for this kind of match with all the ambitions he has in his career, but he is certainly flying here.
He's had a problem with the shoulder, Jamie Moore, a rotator cuff. Thinks he may have to have an operation at some point in the future, but he said he felt really fit going into this and wanted to just send a message to Macklin. Some people favour the Birmingham puncher in that one. I think Moore wants to remind them.
Well, I think there's a kind of mature look about Jamie Moore tonight. I thought the strength of Algoet may have been a problem, but it's quite the opposite. He's pushing him off. When he tries to spoil, he's pushing him off, getting the punches, timing that right hand beautifully there. I mean, it's difficult to look smooth against Algoet, but what a good job Jamie Moore is doing at the moment.
That's the round that he defended his British light middleweight title against David Walker over in the GH Carnell Centre in Manchester. Tonight it's Altrincham that is enjoying Jamie Moore at work, the 27-year-old who's starting to back up Algoet. Persistent, hasn't he been tonight?
Yeah, I'm impressed all the way through, the way he's getting room to get these punches off while Algoet is trying to spoil the shot, the power he can generate and the short punches. Just a few signs that Algoet beginning to become discouraged. You can just see that look in his face as he takes some of these solid shots.
I think most critics felt this would go the full 8 rounds, give Moore a workout at the end of the summer, but he is intent on delivering the stoppage. Done it 17 times in 26 fights so far, Moore.
Still whipping in these short punches up close. Those knots are clean.
Blood still continues to flow from the right eye of Algoet.
Just becoming a little bit untidy now. But that's down to Algoet just wanting to get close, stay close and spoil if possible. Good body shot again.
Yeah, he's attempting to lean on Moore, the man from Belgium, but he's soaking up these body shots. And he's not having the room to move. Left hook for Jamie Moore. A better defence, no, Jim, than we've seen before.
Yeah, I think this is a real rounded performance. Not easy to look good against this guy. There's that body shot again. I mean, I can see a stoppage here on the way. If he keeps landing these shots, because these are sickening Algoet. He doesn't even have the energy to lunge forward now. These body shots are sapping all that energy from him.
Morsey, the crowd roar here. Good atmosphere tonight. They've come out to support one of the real crowd pleasers who's putting on a quality performance. Well, this time a year ago, Jamie Moore gave us an absolute thriller, a perler of a fight with Michael Jones. Third time they met, Moore down a couple of times, stopped Michael Jones. This a different display, a more composed, breaking his man down. Showing us something different as he flies in with the uppercuts. He's looking good.
Yeah, again showing that up close he can get the punches off and he can get quality punches off. The eye's worsening.
And he just rocks back there, dabs the eye. Phil Edwards will be keeping a close watch on Mike Algoet.
I get the feeling at the moment a couple of good clean headshots would maybe get Algoet out of there. He's sagging with some of the shots now. He's struggling. The body shots have done their work. And I think he would like to be out of there. Obviously, his pride's keeping him in there. But it wouldn't take too much at this moment for Jamie Moore to score a stoppage.
Spurred on by the inactivity, Jamie Moore. One-year-old son he now has, Mikey. Wife Colleen pregnant again. There is plenty in the life now of this Salford fighter. And he's in sharp form, and this time Phil Edwards says no more. And Jamie Moore stops Mike Algoet in 5 rounds. It took Howard Eastman 8 to catch up. There's Anthony Farnell Manchester friend of Jamie Moore, celebrating at ringside. And, well, Jim, what do you think about that as a warm-up for his British title defence?
Yeah, well, I found that impressive from start to finish, especially since I expected Algoet to give him all sorts of problems. I thought he could have made him look bad. I thought he could have been a real struggle. I didn't expect him to lose, but I really didn't expect him to look as good as that. OK, Algoet probably could have survived a little bit longer, but what was the point? Moore was totally dominant. The punches were landing cleanly, they were landing regularly. And I think it was a good call by the referee to rescue Algoet from this, because it was just one-way traffic, no signs he could turn it around. He was beginning to sag from the punches. Look at the leg movement here. I mean, just a look of exhaustion about him. OK, he could have struggled on. His professional pride probably wants him to do that. But I think, all told, it was a good call.
And the fans, Jim, absolutely love Jamie Moore, don't they?
Yeah, well, they're entitled to love him, and especially tonight. That could have been a real mess if Jamie hadn't, got the tactics right and got the performance right, because Algoet was doing a lot of spoiling, or he would have done, but Jamie Moore didn't stand for it. Really impressive from start to finish.
Manchester saluting Jamie Moore, and the British title defence against Matthew Macklin, very enticing in September.
I've always said that what have been entertaining fights. I usually am anyway, and knowing that Matthew Macklin's a come forward aggressive fighter, and so am I, going to make for fight of the year again. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it now, and I've shown there tonight I can step up some middleweight as well. I hold the weight well, and eventually I will move up. It's nothing to do with dodging Matthew Macklin, I can assure you that. And he's saying that I'm holding his career back. Well, I'm going to put him back to the start after the end of September.
You've been out since January. Do you feel you shed the ring rust this evening to make you ready for Macklin?
Yeah, first round, I think you should have been able to see a bit of rust, but yeah, I've had a few 6-month layoffs in my career so far through injuries and stuff. I'm plagued with him, but I think half the fighters around are, and I think I've shown that it doesn't take me too long to get rid of the rust. And as soon as I started moving through the gears, I felt a bit sorry for him in the end, and I'm just glad that I didn't hurt my hand for the Macklin fight.
Do you have a message from Matthew Macklin?
He's a nice kid, I've got no qualms with him as a person, but everything what's been said lately, it's just put me to the top level, and I'm looking forward to September, and there's not a prayer that he's taking the British title.
They're building it so well, both sides. Friday, September the 29th, it is set for, and it's Moore Macklin for the British light middleweight title. Friday fight night, 10 that night on Sky Sports 1. Is that what you wanted, a warm-up for a fight like that?
The first round, I thought, oh no, he's had 6 months off. He looks a little flat, but then, warmed into it really well. He started chopping Algoet down, who's used to boxing super middleweights, and Jamie Moore did quite a job on him, and slowly, systematically take him to pieces.
Jamie told us and reminded everybody, he has had these periodic layoffs because of injury, and they've gone right through his career. Does he deal with them well, do you think?
Yeah, he showed tonight. For the first half of the first round, he worried us all, but then he quickly stepped into the shoes, grabbed the bull by the horns and got stuck in. The way he was throwing the body shots, the way he started to bully Algoet around the ring, he falls into place very well. So he's handling the 6th round 6 months later though.
Johnny, referring back to the action previously tonight, the one that nobody really wants to talk about again, was that sparring and this a fight? And is the difference there in those two displays?
You've just seen the difference between the two. Hayes talking about jumping up and boxing at heavyweight, which in reality I don't think he should do right now. I think he should train and keep down at his weight. Tonight we saw Moore get stuck into a scrap. He had 6 months off, started a little slow.
Even though he's actually weighed at middleweight, 11.6 was his recorded weight for this.
There you go, and Moore's the British light middleweight champion, and he made a good scrap of it, of the naturally heavier fighter in Algoet, and he controlled the heavier opponent.
How do you see this Macklin fight then?
I think it will be a fight of the year. Both fighters really fancy it, and you can tell how they're warming it up and having the slight digs at one another. I don't think there'll be no punches pulled in that fight.
Thank you very much. After the break,